Hey everyone, hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna wait for a second since everybody joined the last live that I was doing. And I'm just gonna give it a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds so everybody can join. And hopefully everybody is able to hear me. I'm not going to show you guys my face today just because I look a mess. Can you guys hear me? Hey, can you guys hear me now? Hey, good morning. All right. Okay, perfect. All right. So, I just want to give you guys a heads up because I feel like it's necessary. In June, hey everyone, welcome. Good morning. Good morning. In June, okay, I had told one of my very close friends, I said, there's something going on where they're going to release something that's going to directly impact the kids the worst. Some type of virus, some type of something, okay? What's crazy is there was that weird fog. The fog had that thick mist, or there was something in the air. I swear to God on my kids, this is why I'm telling you guys, because if you have children or you yourself are immunocompromised, you need to take precautions right now. And I'm not saying this to scare you, but I'm trying to let you know there's something going on right now that's really nasty. My son went outside and he said during that time frame, hey man, mom, why is there this stuff in the air? It looks like dust, mom, but it's fog. It's weird. And I kid you not, I recorded it and it was exactly dust in the air that you couldn't see unless you had a camera or some type of particle. Hey, my loves, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's flash forward, okay? So after my son said that, a couple weeks later goes by, he gets extremely sick. He's extremely sick. I just got it, okay? But what's crazy is my dogs have it too. So either this is something that's being spread between human and other animals, or it is something in the air that is making the dogs sick, that's making the kids sick, and I'm extremely sick. But when I tell you my kids are having it the worst, they're being impacted. I also talked to a couple people, and they told me that they know of people that have been hospitalized for the same thing. I don't think that it's a coincidence whether you are a Trump supporter or not. It doesn't matter. There's something going on again, similar to what happened back in 2020. It's happening now, okay? So I just want to reach out because you guys need to protect your children. And I know that masks are not great, but when I'm telling you, whatever is going on outside, whatever they're putting in the air, whatever they're dusting us with, it's making everybody sick. And it's transferring to the dogs, or it's transferring to other animals. Baby Electra, I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah, there's something, but it's not even... that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that everybody is getting extremely sick right now, but nobody is talking about it. But what's bananas is the fact that I've literally been saying this since last year, that they're going to be launching certain things that are going to directly impact our youth, where a lot of our youth are not going to do well. My kids, I swear to God, my one son, he's been sleeping for days. He won't eat. The only thing he's asking for is yogurts and grapes. Now, logically, right? Me being logic. Hey, Mary, welcome, welcome. Me being very logical right now, right? It's similar to pregnant women. Pregnant women require, like sometimes they'll eat dirt. Sometimes they'll eat grass, right? Because their body is missing certain nutrients. Certain things their body needs, right? in order for it to be able. So there's something with yogurt and grapes, because he's been in particular extremely fixated on needing grapes. He's like, and he's not a fixation type of person. So that's why I'm just letting you know. I don't know what the significance, I don't know what the nutrients factor is of grapes and yogurt, but there's something going on here, okay? Also, this is about protecting our babies. We tested positive for influenza A, but it doesn't feel like a normal flu, okay? My chest, this feels worse than what we went through in 2020. And I'm not gonna say it because I feel like if I say the word, they're going to come in and not show this to other people. This is extremely, I'm telling you guys, for those of you, this is major. No lie, I'm gonna tell you what happened yesterday. Enzo, the dog, puked on my bed, but I wasn't feeling good because after the reading that I did in the morning, I just wasn't feeling very good. I got really sick, so I was relaxing. So when he puked on my goose down feather comforter and my duvet, I was like, come on, man. So I had to strip everything. And then my other son comes in and he looks at me and he projectile vomits like he's on the goddamn Exorcist. I've never seen somebody throw up as much as what he did, and it was all bile, it was all yellow, it was crazy. So now I'm sitting here and I'm going, what the hell is going on? And then I turn around and my other dog, Zola, she starts throwing up. And these kids are sleeping for days and they're not eating. They're having a hard time drinking. I don't think that this is the only place that it's happening to. And it's weird. Divine Beauty, here's the crazy thing. He got better for a couple of days, and then he got hit again even harder. So when I'm telling you, there's something going on right now, whether this is spiritual warfare, whether there's something going on that's very significant right now. Very significant. I also think, for me personally, there's something about, they keep showing me baking soda. Okay, so baking soda, typically people don't use baking soda with things that they're drinking, but I today am gonna start putting 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda in my tea to neutralize that body, okay? Because there's something going on here. Honey, baking soda, also cayenne, I feel like is gonna be extremely, extremely important. But for me, with all this going on, nobody's talking about this. Whatever that dust was, that fog, we had such thick fog in Florida. That didn't make sense to me. I've lived here for close to 4 years. I've never seen anything like that. And it felt different. And when you were out there, something was off, right? It's making everybody sick. Hey, Tatum, welcome, my love. Great. Jayla, sea moss and zinc. Okay. I see. And I used to take sea moss every day, and I actually have some in my cabinet. So definitely, I just want everybody to protect themselves because this is the beginning stages. Now, before the big C hit in 2020, I got a hit where I was like, something's off. I pulled my kids out of school a week before all the lockdowns happened. Now, everybody told me I was crazy. People told me I was a bad mom, that I was nuts, that I was a spiritual fanatic. And then boom, all of a sudden, lockdowns happened. Trust your intuition right now. And I feel like as a group, as a community, alkaline water, thank you, Tito, that's true. But just be very, very careful right now with what's going on. Heart healing body, do not go outside. I know there's a lot of people that are anti-mask. I get it. I don't like to wear a mask. But at the same point in time, we have to begin to protect ourselves and protect our children and protect your animals because I've never seen my dogs throw up the way that they were throwing up. It's something that is weird. James Warrior, I agree with the turmeric. It's interesting. I actually have these turmeric chews, so I'm going to give those to my kids. So thank you for reminding me. Spartan says the fog chemical was a test on people. They used it up here in Long Island. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's either that fog or it's some type of whatever that's been concocted that's directly impacting human to other species, right? Transfer. And that's scary because you don't know what they're transferring back to you. Also, too, I do think certain blood types are going to be impacted more significantly. If you are in a O blood type, I think this is hitting you harder than, let's say, an AB or an A or a B. I don't know why, but that's just my perception, where I feel like with the big C hit A and B blood types heavier than it did O. There's something here about O blood types getting extremely sick. Sorry if you're hearing snorting. That's Zola. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody is protected. Everybody is coming together right now to pray. We have 242 people right now that are on the live. I understand if you are not super religious, but I also feel like when there's more than one person that is praying for a cause, that is amplifying that prayer. And right now, we need prayer. We all need to band together right now. Spartan V, I'm O negative too. Tinky Reads, I agree. But when I tell you, this is something that's gnarly, right? Like, I'll give you guys my symptoms. I feel like it's C on steroids, okay? The C19 on steroids, because it's making people throw up significantly. It's people can't breathe. It's their chest. It's their head. My son is so dizzy, he can't stand up. Jayla, find it out. And if you guys don't know what the blood type of your children are, find it out, because that's going to be extremely imperative. But I do want to take a moment to pray. So if you guys can pray with me, and if we need to do this at least once a day, where all of us come together in the morning and pray, then that's what we need to do. Because I'm telling you, when more than one person is praying, that prayer is amplified, right? That's why you see the Tibetan monks, right? All praying together, praying for peace, praying for something. Alyssa says, yeah, no joke. I got sick, missed class for a week. It is impossible. It is. I'm telling you, my son has not been in school for one of them hasn't been in school for an entire week. And the only thing he will eat right now is grapes. I don't know if you guys feel or know what specific grapes have, but I also feel like grapes and yogurt, Greek yogurt, that's what he asked for in particular, which I find very odd. Baby, Electra, I'm sorry, my love, for that loss, but I promise you, you are going to find something so much better. I promise you that, okay? Keep strong right now. But let's go through a sense of, oh, Robin, grab the grapes, okay? Grab the grapes with the seeds, okay? My blood type is an O, and it's neither A or B. You could be AB, because I think that there's only A, B, AB, or O blood type, okay? So, yeah, this is nuts, man. Thank you, Erica. So if you guys haven't, I would go stock up on grapes. I would go stock up on yogurt. I also would be very conscious right now, stocking up on water. I don't know why, but there's something with the water system, making sure that you have the correct water that's needed. If you need to stock up on water, you need to stock up on water. Because I think that this is not good, whatever it is. So let's get into a quick prayer, and then I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to try to drop a reading tomorrow. depending on how the children are and how I'm doing. But for me, God told me that I needed to come on here and that I needed to warn you guys, that I needed to tell my people, my soul tribe, what's going on so that you can protect yourself, okay? Also, too, if you want to put the prayer in the chat also with what you're praying for, please do so. I know that this is kind of weird, and I'm a hyperlogical person, but the fact that I'm telling you, and I called this a while ago, last year, I did the same thing when it happened before. I called it in August, and then it hit in January or February. That's when it began to get very, very popular. Hey, Tamika, welcome. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. And it just, when I began to see last night, I felt like I was in this tunnel going, what the hell is going on? The kids, the dog, me. And at a moment, I felt like I wanted to break. At a moment, I felt like I don't feel well enough to do this. And if I don't feel well enough to take care of my kids, this isn't good. I mean, I even have my assistants. I told them, I said, do not come to the house. Whatever you do, you stay outside of the house. Do not come to this house because I do not want them getting sick. Okay? So let's pray. I'm praying for everybody. I'm not great with this, so just bear with me. I pray that whatever is going on in the spiritual and also in the physical, the metaphysical and the physical, I pray that whatever is going on right now, that everybody has the ability to remain safe. I pray that whatever sickness, whatever illness is in the air that is impacting our youth, impacting our animals, impacting us, I pray that this begins to dissipate. I pray that we have answers for what's going on. And I pray that more people will find out about this video, about this notion. Please pray for everybody right now, because I feel like prayer is going to be needed in this moment. Yes, thank you, Nina. Nina says, precious blood of Jesus, cover Whitney and her home and her family. And I wanted to cover all of you guys as well. Please, God, heal us and protect us from what's coming. And it's crazy because I'm getting chills up my body as I'm beginning to pray, which tells me the Holy Spirit is coming over me. And it's making me tell you guys, when I tell you I have the chills all over my body right now is crazy. Charisse, yes, vomiting is removing the entities. Now I am going to say this to you as well. Fasting, okay? Thank you, Zola, for that giant snort. Fasting is key, and I'm going to tell you why. Fasting was taken out of the majority of the Bibles, okay? The newer versions. It does state that Jesus fasted for 40 days or something like that, but they removed the importance of it, right? Fasting, okay, and this is what was coming into your Sunday sip, your spiritual infused prayer on Sunday. This is what I was going to be releasing, but I am going to release it now because I do think that it's extremely important, okay? Fasting is going to be key because what happens is, one, fasting helps you align directly with Source, directly with God, okay? What you also need to do is you need to ask God to become your eyes and ask God and invite God in to become your ears so that you can hear and you can see what is going on around you that nobody else does. There's a reason they took fasting out of the Bible, because what it says is when you are sick, you should fast. That's the easiest way for your body to regenerate the cells and remove any type of the toxicity. This is extremely important. This is imperative. If you are somebody that is very small, like I know one of my clients is like, listen, Whit, like I can't fast all day and not eat anything. Okay, Fasting takes time. Fasting is something where you can't just jump in balls deep and think that you're going to be able not to eat all day. No, this is something you work up to. So whether that's you do sun up to sundown, whether that's you know, you don't eat anything until 1 o'clock, there's something here about fasting that is going to be extremely significant. Once your body has gone through a significant fasting period, this is also before you get right back into whatever you're eating, I would stick to greens. I think that this is also going back to that Dr. Sabeha, what his thing was when it does come to illness and everything else. I love that, Veronica. It does. And I'm telling you, when I'm in doubt, when I'm in a negative energy, when things are heavy, right? Because you have to understand, there's a lot of people right now that are very focused on God's chosen, focused on those that are in the light. And based on everything that I'm seeing with you guys right now, it seems as if you are in that same energy. So with that being said, being in this energy, imagine if we all do it. We're all interconnected in some type of significant way. Hydration, yes, Jennifer, hydration is going to be key. I agree. But I think that there's something to that 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda in your tea that is automatically going to neutralize whatever is going on in your body. Yes, God is great, but I also think too, we're getting ready to see some type of significant level of destruction. And this is starting something off. There was one reading a couple of weeks ago before the LA fires hit where I said, there's something going on right now and everybody needs to pray. Everybody needs to take time right now. They need to pray. They need to try to detox as much as possible. Be very conscious of words you are saying or things you are communicating. Your words become spells. Keep your mind very, very clean right now. Cleanliness is close. You need to remain clean. There's also something about hand sanitizing, and this is even spiritually, okay? Sanitizing your hands, sanitizing everything, okay? Just like the germs are coming if you touch something, that's the same as spiritual energy. I do want to say this. I think it's amazing what social media has done as far as the spiritual community is concerned. However, when you have light, you also have dark. It is about duality. So that means if you're of the light, then there's other people around you that are in negative energy. So it's imperative right now that you do not let that impact you. I even had somebody extremely close to me the other day say to me, because I said something very not like me, and his thing was, yo, what is going on? He's like, the devil is around you, or there's an illusion, like you're not seeing clearly. And when he said that to me, it's almost like I woke up like, holy shit, he's right. So be very conscious of your choices and be very cognizant of the way that you're thinking. For me, I'm typically a very, very positive person, but if you're struggling with mental health or if you're struggling with keeping positive, put a little rubber band around your wrist. And the moment you go to a negative thought, snap that band and say something that you're thankful and that you're grateful for. It's going to be very important to keep your vibration high. Exactly. You want to know why, old soul, that the devil only attacks God's children? And it's funny how now it's like my voice. Bear with me. And it's, you know what also told me I needed to do this? Because I tried to do a live earlier. And when I tried to do the live earlier, it wasn't letting me talk. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, the devil is here. But you know what? I'm not scared. And neither should you. Because at the end of the day, the higher you vibrate, the higher you raise your vibration, everything changes. Everything does. I promise you that. Because for me, If you guys knew how I grew up, if you guys knew where I came from and where I am today, you would be shocked. But that was because I always remained very positive. I always kept my energy in a great light. Don't talk about anybody in a negative sense, okay? This is extremely important. Thank you. Nathan said, I have found that calling on Christ is the purest antidote to black magic and gain stalking. Exactly. Here's my thing with social media, right? You have these people that think they're TikTok witches, or you have these people that are trying to manipulate energy in order to get what they want. That's not okay. That's not what God wants. You shouldn't be manipulating anything, good, bad, or indifferent, because what is meant for you will be for you. But if you're doing spell work, if you're taking certain actions in a negative or a positive sense, what that is saying is that your wants and your needs come before God's. And that's not true. And if you are doing certain things, I am going to say this, that's not of the light. God does not tell you to sit there and take action towards people in a negative sense. Spartan says that they've had a dark entity with them for years. Yeah, man, let me tell you, the one thing about me is from a very young age, I saw spirits from a very young age. Thankfully, my grandma, who's Sicilian, she also had the same gifts that I did. So what she taught me was how to not be scared of them. What she taught me was how to confront them and tell them, hey, get the fuck out. Excuse my language. But that's what she told me to tell them. I'm telling you, I have certain energies around me right now, but you want to know what's interesting? There was an entity with a dark black hat that came towards me, but he couldn't break the barrier. And he was confused. Like, why can I not get to her? And I just sat there and said, because I'm protected. Now get the fuck out. And right as I said that dark energy in that hat, it went out the door. Okay? Here's the thing. The thing about black magic, you guys want me to give you the real tea? Okay? The thing about black magic, voodoo, hoodoo, whatever, is that it impacts you by scaring you. Right? It wants you to be scared, because if you're scared, then you go down into a low vibration, right? Because now you're scared. You're not at a vibration where you believe God is going to protect you. God is always going to protect you. Always. But you have to remind yourself that, because the devil wants to infiltrate your mind. The devil wants to project illusions as if you are losing. And that's not true, because the devil always comes in right before God gives you some type of significant blessing. And you know what he'll do? He'll dangle the one thing that you wanted most right in front of your face. And he'll say, hey, but I know you wanted this. Are you sure? I know you're going down this path, right? But hey, man, are you sure? Because listen, you can have this. It's a shortcut. There are no shortcuts. There's God's path. And there's the other path. And if you're not on God's path, you're on somebody else's path. And that's the reality of it. But when I tell you, you need to be very confident right now in yourself, confident in how far that you've come spiritually. You guys have had a lot of spiritual growth that's been extremely significant. This is imperative. Tamika, take care of yourself. This is, I hope you see this. Was it a top hat? Yes, baby, it was a top hat. But again, the thing about me, and it's funny because my person, their culture believes in voodoo. And he would always say to me, no, that shit is real. And I would say to him, I understand it's real. I'm not denoting anything about voodoo. I understand voodoo is real. I 100% understand that. But you have to understand God comes first. Voodoo is not above God. Black magic is not above God. God is the one that oversees everything. God is the one that oversees everybody. So if you are giving in to the fear of somebody doing something, you've already lost the battle, because that means that you gave up on God's vision and you said, you know what, God, this is scaring me. And I know for a fact that you're not going to protect me. Do you see what I'm saying? This is about being mentally tough. And I'm going to tell you guys something that's very personal to me. And I don't talk about myself a lot just because I'm a very private, I'm extremely private. But growing up, I wasn't allowed to cry. There was no crying. I was taught to, almost trained to be extremely unemotional, where people would say to me, yo, you got like ice running through your veins, because I wasn't emotionally impacted by things. But the one thing is, when I would go through very traumatic experiences, I would begin to break down. I would begin to panic. And my dad would always come over and he'd say, hey, snap out of it. Knock your shit off. You don't have time to have a mental breakdown. Pick it up and let's keep it pushing. Even when I had my divorce, I had 2 kids under 3 years old. One that was in the hospital constantly for epilepsy and autism. And my other one was 1.5. And there was a moment where I was getting ready to have that mental breakdown. And let me tell you something, when my dad said that, it snapped me out of it and it put me back into war mode. It put me back to being focused. But what that did is it taught me to be mentally tough. Right now, we're all going to have to get mentally tough here, because whatever this spiritual warfare is, whatever this is manifesting in the physical, everybody here needs to be tough, mentally tough. Because if you're not mentally tough, you're going to get swallowed up. And I promise you that. And yesterday, as my son pulled an exorcist, okay, I was waiting for his head to spin around. At that point, with as much as he was throwing up, I was just like, what the hell is going on? I began to panic. I began to freak out. And you want to know what's crazy? I heard my dad in the back of my head say, snap the fuck out of it, Whitney. You don't have time right now to have a mental breakdown. You need to pick it up, put it together, and handle business. And the moment that I heard my dad say that in my head, let me tell you something. My entire energy changed. I no longer felt as sick as I was. Because see, it's getting in your head. You understand? That's why it's extremely, extremely important that you guys have somebody right now, or whatever it may be, that can tell you, you can call and you can say, hey, something is wrong. I'm panicking. And you need that one person that is going to take you and mentally give you a crack in the head and say, refocus. Refocus your energy. Do not get thrown off your path by the illusion. This is extremely, extremely important. Yes, I mean, when I tell you training, it was interesting. I was trained, for example, I broke my ankle, and when I fell down the stairs, and then I broke the toes on my other foot. I didn't cry. I screamed, and then I puked because I think my body was in shock. And then I got up with my ankle broken. I vacuumed the carpet, and then I drove myself to urgent care. And when I got to urgent care, they're like, hey, who drove you? I said, me. And they were shocked, because I've been trained as a young child how to push through that pain. I was trained at a young age how to manage my emotions. Yes, Psalms 91 is amazing. Psalms 31. I just want all of us right now just to understand there's something about our mentality that is directly connected to our spirituality. Okay, I'm telling you this. This is imperative, because the devil, again, infiltrates based on fear. The fear of what? Like, let me ask you something. Has there ever been a time where God did not provide for you? Has there ever been a time, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't a huge believer in the Bible or anything like that growing up, just because my mom was extremely Catholic, being Italian, but my dad was an atheist. My dad was like, hey man, I'm not gonna get you baptized just because. If you wanna be that, then you can be that, but you need to go test out all the other religions. So thankfully, my dad made me go check out all these different religions. And he's like, hey, which one? And I'm like, I don't know if any of them really resonate. But now, today, I'm more connected to God than I ever have been. And that's because I've welcomed God into my life in certain manners, right? For example, this is the best way for you to see things. Fasting, one, okay? Huge. The other thing is, you know, when you plug a light socket into the wall, right? Imagine God is the light socket, okay? And you're the plug. Right now, there's a lot of people that aren't plugged in. Even if they believe in God, they don't have a direct connection to God, right? So what you need to do is you need to ask God to become your eyes so that you can see what God is seeing that you don't. So God can give you the visions of what's to come. You need to invite God to be your ears so you can see, so that you can have foresight in what's happening around you. And what that's doing is it's activating God, because you're inviting God into your life, you're inviting God into your body, and you're directly plugging into source. If you have not done that, I suggest that you do that, and you are going to be amazed at the things that you see, at the people that you felt like, you may have felt like, there's something off with that person. I don't know what it is exactly, but something is weird or wonky with them, right? When you invite God to show you the truth, you may not like what the truth is, but it is the truth. And you're going to be shocked. And when I tell you you're going to be shocked, that you may begin to isolate from a lot of people around you because you begin to see their soul. And when you see somebody's soul and you see what somebody's intentions are, it changes everything. Yeah, honestly, Tinky Reads, listen, you're right, it's not comfortable. But here's the thing. Sometimes you're chosen because you're the strong that's meant to help protect the weak. And I feel like anyone on this live right now, and it's 369, damn, she's fine. One more time. Sorry, I had to break it down really quick because I'm showing my age. But 369, that's a Fibonacci sequence. It just dropped, but it is the Fibonacci sequence, right? Yeah, sock it to me one more time. Yes. And I also think too, here's the one thing I want to tell you. When there's a lot of negativity going on around you, be cognizant of what you're listening to music-wise. Because there's also certain vibrations in music that is also drawing you closer, okay, to the devil, right? That's obvious. Listen to frequencies. Now, here's a tip with frequencies. And what's crazy is Wyclef Jean, right? He was asked by NASA if he could incorporate, and I think that I put this in the membership stuff, but I'll post it for you guys too. He was asked to add a frequency that came from space that NASA said was known to be extremely healing. So in one of his songs, he actually has this frequency playing in the background, which is of the space frequency. Okay? So frequencies work. They know this. But imagine, if you know frequencies can change vibrations, can change elevations, that also means it can do the opposite of that vibration. Okay? So pay close attention, because just because somebody is sitting there pretending to be the light, that doesn't mean they're the light. God is never going to ask you to hurt anybody. God is never going to ask you to take revenge on somebody. That's not your role. That's not your position to play. Your position is to mind your business, stay your path, stay focused, get mentally tough. If you need to scream, cry, break something, do what you need to do, but then snap out of it. Also, for a lot of you, I do want to say this. If you are breaking mirrors right now, or if you are breaking glass, that is curses that are breaking around you. So don't get upset when a glass breaks, okay? When a glass breaks, I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Somebody, okay? I just broke a curse. Thank you. Thank you so much. And pay attention how the mirror or the glass breaks. Does it break in multiple pieces? Does it shatter? What does it look like? Okay? Pay very close attention to these items and to these things, because I'm telling you, the more you begin to awaken to what God is showing, you're going to be blown. You are going to be blown. And the moment that you plug your body in directly into source and you ask God to take over you and you ask God to show you, your life is going to change. and people around you are going to fall off. But again, it's like the eagle, right? The crow is the only bird that will attack an eagle. One, because they're dumb. Crows aren't dumb, but to attack an eagle, not a smart thing. But the eagle doesn't fight back. What does the eagle do? The eagle just flies as high as it can in the elevation directly to the sun. Why is that? Because at that vibration, that crow, it can't sustain life because it's not meant to. But the eagle can. So there's no point or purpose of taking out any type of negative actions. Those people that are doing spell work or any type of negativity towards you, obviously their life already sucks. Because if they were living a good life, the good life, cue Kanye West, good life, okay? Welcome to the good life. They wouldn't be focused on you. You know what I focus on? I focus on myself. I focus on my kids. I don't care what any other tarot card reader is doing. I don't care about who this LL Cool J is from around the way. I don't care about any of that. That's not my purpose. And the one thing that I am going to challenge you guys with today is that figure out what your life purpose is. What is your purpose in life? My purpose is to help heal people. My purpose is to help people connect at a deeper frequency with God. That's my purpose. That's what I'm meant to do. And again, why do you think bees are worried about flies? No. You think a fly is over there saying, "Hey, listen, hey, Betty the bumblebee, come on over here, dog. You see this? You see this piece of shit? Come on, dive in." The bee's like, "No, dog. I'm getting the flowers and the honey because that's the nectar. That's the nectar from source. I'm not going to be low vibrational, right?" That's the key here. I also want to say this. The key with frequencies that I don't hear a lot of people talking to, you have to switch up the frequency. For example, if you're only playing love frequencies, twin flame frequencies, whatever, that means you're hyper-focusing or hyper-fixating in that energy. But that also means all these other things are falling apart. Your abundance, your protection, whatever. So my suggestion is always have a frequency playing on low in your house, okay? Or wherever you are, very low. It cannot be high because if it's too high, your brain is going to kick it out and say, "Yeah, I don't like that." It's like the loud chick at the party or the drunk dude at the party where you're like, somebody has to get this guy out of here. That's what your brain is thinking. But if it's at a low vibration, then it kind of creeps in, it kind of sneaks in, right? And your brain begins to rewire. But the key is to mix it up. So for me, I'll go protection frequency, abundance frequency, love frequency, regeneration frequency, grounding frequency, whatever it is. And I always mix it up. That is key. Divinely blessed say, I play scriptures and frequencies. Absolutely. Here's also a great tool that I'm going to tell you guys that I always talk about in my mentorship program. What I do, because I'm just curious about everything. Like I grabbed a Quran recently just to read, just to understand the difference, right? Because there's only 3% difference between the Christian Bible and the Quran, which most people don't want to acknowledge, but it's true. I don't care what anybody is. I don't associate with any type of denomination. I'm God's child. That's it. That's all I know. All that is for the bees. The reality is, religion and that type of thing, it was used to control people, to teach people how to do the right thing, but to be sheep, right? But the reality is, priests, pastors, they're sinners too. But why would you not want a direct connection to God? So what I do is, for example, I'll grab the Bible, grab the Quran, and I'll say, "God, what do you need me to know today?" I'll flip to a random page. I won't even know what page it is, okay? And I point to a random part and I read it. And let me tell you something. When you do that, it's crazy how God speaks to you. Because it says something in depth where you're like, holy cannoli, whoa, just blew my wig back. Because whatever I just pointed to is exactly what I'm going through. It's huge, right? And my thing is this. I feel like religion right now, I feel like it's meant to divide when we are all more alike than what we realize. But also, I don't want to go to a third party, a second person to get my direct connection to God. I don't need a pastor or a priest to connect to God. Because what happens if that person is operating in devil energy? I want to have I want to have a direct source. Why do I want a third party person sitting there telling me, right? I do think it's great, going to church, listening, but also that's secondary, right? What comes first is your relationship to him. Because then you can be able to identify what is real and what is false. Oh, you did, Imperial Blaze. She's like, yo, I just said that. Mobile Tech, I'm gonna pray for your daughter. This is serious, man. The kids are getting sick. And I'm telling you, I think that the kids this time are gonna take a gnarly hit. And I've been saying this since last year during June. I can even have multiple people verify that, where I was like, something is coming. Because a lot of times I'll see visions, but I don't know when. For example, one of my closest friends, she runs a ton of nursing homes in California, and something had happened where she got screwed out of it and they weren't paying her. And this was something that she put her hard-earned everything into. And I told her, that motherfucker is gonna burn to the ground, because that's not of God. What they're doing, that is wrong. And guess what she sent me? The nursing home that I told her, there was 2 buildings, okay? I said one of those buildings is gonna burn to the ground and there's not gonna be anything left. Guess what? The exact time frame that I told her, it happened. She texted me, she said, I don't know how the hell you knew this, but it completely burned to the ground. But that was God's work, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they were screwing her out of the money. But now that it's burnt to the ground, guess what? Insurance is kicking in, and insurance has to pay her portion. So even if something seems like negative, even if it feels like, God, why are you punishing me right now? Why are you not helping me? God has a bigger plan. And that bigger plan may be because you are a light worker, that sometimes you have to endure a little bit more than other people do, because sometimes you're used to teach people a lesson, and that's God's lesson. All right, with that being said, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. I'm here for you. Definitely praying for the farmers. Make sure you're washing everything with baking soda, apple cider vinegar. Make sure you're washing everything. There's something going on. If you're going outside and you see that fog, wear a mask. Protect yourself. Go above and beyond right now. It's not going to hurt you to take extra precautions. All right? I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to pray for all of you guys, and please make sure you spread the word. Even if you take this video and post it somewhere, I want people to hear this, because I think that this is imperative. I think that this is important for us getting out the word and protecting other people. All right, my loves. Until next time, I will talk to you later. Peace out, Girl Scout.